Welcome to I Said What I Said. I'm Brad Wakai. That's Tyson Gentri. This is the NFC South draft analysis, folks. Kind of interesting here. We talked about the first round pick of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the rest of the way was kind of interesting too. But 𝐬𝐻𝐫𝐿𝐵𝐾𝐿, number one, 19th overall by the Bucs, wide receiver from Ohio State. Second round, they go Benjamin Morris, cornerback from Notre Dame. Third round pick, they go another corner, Jacob Parrish from Kansas State. And then we're getting into the day threes. David Walker, edge rusher from Central Arkansas in the fourth round. Elijah Roberts, edge rusher from SMU in the fifth round. And then, Tez Johnson falls to the seventh round. Wide receiver from Oregon. Jordan Schultz, by the way. Wow, they got more speed for the Bucs. I'm like, speed? I don't know if you can say that with Tez Johnson after his 40, but very interesting draft here from the Bucs. What do you think? Because Jason Light's been good over the years. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, this one was weird to me, but I'm not an NFL general manager. I think this signals, Chris Godwin's going back outside. We talked about 𝐬𝐵𝐿𝐵𝐾𝐿 in the round one thing, what it means for McMillan and all that other stuff in a round one recap, so I don't need to rehash that too much. I think Morrison is the kind of guy that if he can get healthy from this hip injury, you're looking at this and you're going, wow, home run. Because in round one, it was like, they need secondary help. You got some of these guys on the board that you think could help. Most of them at that point in the draft, and they didn't take them. They took Parrish from Kansas State, who I think is going to be a good player. But it's just hard to get over the wide receiver in round one thing for me right now. And that's not saying that 𝐬𝐵𝐿𝐵𝐾𝐿 can't play. It just felt like a weird pick. But Brad, they got Shiloh Sanders as a UDFA, and that's huge. By the way, you mentioned the Tez Johnson speed thing. Why does everyone have to use the one punt return highlight like over and over again? It's like the guy played for a long time in college, and he has better plays than this.
It's so ridiculous. I don't know if he licensed it out. He's getting
this is the one highlight.
So, yeah, this is the one you can use. But yeah, Shiloh Sanders, they help out their secondary. I don't know why I think that's so funny. But no, 𝐬𝐻𝐵𝐿𝐵𝐾𝐿, we went over this. If they're going to be considered a good draft, the Tyson, it's going to be the corners. It's going to be the day two guys. Benjamin Morris, Jacob Parrish, if they hit, they're coming in here if they're taking over. All right, yeah, we can accept that. And, we could give me what you want here. But I think really for this thing to be successful, you need that secondary to fit. How about Atlanta? Because, boy, was there some question marks with what these guys did. I got to tip my cap to them, though, Tyson. I mean, listen, everybody's coming at them.
They got a plan.
Edge rusher, they were not playing because they go Jalen Walker with their 15th overall pick. Apparently, they would have taken James Pierce there. So why would you not mortgage the farm? Why would you not give up draft capital to go and get him at 26? I mean, did you ever think that maybe these are reason he's fallen to 26? Like couldn't believe it. They're like, what? Well, he's fallen? It's like, yeah, there's a reason. But then you get Xavier Watts, safety in the third round from Notre Dame. A lot of people liked him, but he fell a little bit more, which to me that scares me a bit, Tyson, especially that he ends up with Atlanta. But then you only have two picks the rest of the way. Another safety, Billy Bowman from Oklahoma in the fourth round, and then offensive tackle from Wisconsin, Jack Nelson in the seventh round. Listen, we've been making fun of Atlanta, but in all seriousness, what'd you make of everything when you're looking at how they went about things?
Well, they needed edge rusher, and they got edge rushers. I don't love the guys they got. I don't love the pair of the guys they got. I mean, dude, we're in the NFL right now, and these guys combined don't weigh 500 pounds. It's tough. And James Pierce, a ton of production. I think there's a reason he didn't start all the games at Tennessee. There's some concerns there, I'm sure, from Heupel. Jalen Walker, I think, is a heck of a player. We talked about that. Watts is a guy that can come in and just be like a captain, maybe. And that's like the upside. This is a guy who played a ton of football at Notre Dame. Really good, but they got a third round pick taken away. They traded others to move around in the draft and last year's draft. And I don't like this from Atlanta, but I haven't liked the thing that Terry's done since he's been in charge. And maybe one day I'm going to look back and go, damn, Arthur Blank let these guys run this team and it worked out. I don't think so, but we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out because we'll see. You got to add the edge rushers. That's what you're looking for Atlanta. I mean, if this doesn't hit, it's a disaster. Carolina, on the flip side, Tyson, this is a draft. You and I are like, okay, we see the vision here. We talked about Tet McMillan. I can't call him Tet McMillan. His mom said, don't call him that. You got to call him Tetaroa and a nickname for him that they had. So I apologize, Miss McMillan. Tetaroa McMillan taken number 8 overall in the first round. I mean, listen, this is a smash for you and me. This is a guy that we talked about for 2 years going there. So we don't have to dive into that more. But everybody's like, well, you need help in the trenches. Well, good thing we got more picks, folks. This isn't a one-round thing. We go and get in the second round Nick Sorton, edge rusher from Texas A&M. Princely Anmonimian, I believe I'm correct in pronouncing it, Amamalayan or something, edge rusher from Ole Miss in the third round. Sorry for butchering your name. And then the fourth round, Travis Etienne, running back from Georgia, which I thought was interesting. Lathan Ransom, safety from Ohio State in the fourth round. And your 2 fifth-round picks, Cam Jackson, defensive tackle, Florida. Mitchell Evans, tight end, Notre Dame. And you close out with Jimmy Horn Jr., wideout from Colorado, which I think is an interesting one because his dad was New Orleans Saints. He keep him in the division.
Yeah, it's weird that nobody cares that Jimmy Horn was falling so far. Trevor Etienne gets to come in. Like, Jonathan Brooks is going to be done for like all of 2025. And, Chuba was great last year. I think Etienne is a good pickup there. We talked about the Tedero McMillan thing already, so I don't need to go too deep into that. I think, first of all, like, I don't know how to say his last name either, but when your first name is Princely, you go by Princely. Hey, that's where we're at. And then with Scorton from Texas A&M, 2 guys that didn't have like crazy off the board testing, and Scorton had much better production than some of these other guys that were on the board. So I don't hate it, but this is another team where it's like Canales needs to get some guys in here that he wants to have on his football team for us to be able to figure this out. And lastly, is Bryce Young even going to be able to overthrow Ted McMillan? Like, can he throw it high enough?
Everybody says he's not an athlete. I don't know, Tyson. So, like, listen, I mean, I'm into this thing. I see the vision here. Let's help out Bryce. Let's get who we think. I mean, Travis Hunter's a unicorn, but like if we're talking about like who's actually going to play wide receiver, I think Tedero McMillan is the best in this draft. And we're big. Maybe we're overrating them. I don't know. You and I both like him a lot. We've watched a lot of Arizona football for better for worse over the years, and it was worse this past year. But man, the edge rusher's got to hit here. The trencher's got to hit. Cam Jackson, can he be a guy? I don't know. You don't really necessarily bank on that in round 5, but you're putting a lot of eggs in the Tedero McMillan basket, and you're hoping that the other picks kind of come in fill form. Trevor Etienne, does this worry you about Jonathan Brooks? I mean, he tore his ACL again. Are they concerned about that, do you think, from their perspective?
Well, for sure, they're concerned from their perspective. It doesn't worry me about Jonathan Brooks because it was like when this guy tore his ACL at the end of the season, it was just kind of mentally, if he comes back, that's amazing, good for him. But I've seen this movie a bunch of times, and so yeah, they're concerned. They signed Rico Dowdle, and then and signed Chuba to that contract extension, and then go out and get Trevor Etienne. Yeah. So we knew where their priorities were, and it's a shame because I thought Jonathan Brooks was going to be a good NFL player.
Let's close out here with the New Orleans Saints. Kelvin Banks, we talked about that, number 9 overall pick. Let's go get in the trenches. We like it. And there's a shocker, right? There's some smoke coming out of before day 2. Hey, Tyler Shuck going to be the next quarterback taken, and he was at 8th round pick or 40th overall, 40th second round pick, 8th pick of that round. I'm jumbling the words here. But that's an interesting one, and I think we'll dive into that a little bit more. Going through the rest of the way, though, 2 third-round picks, defensive tackle Vernon Broughton from Texas, safety Jonas Sanker from Virginia, which was a popular name throughout this entire process. Then you get linebacker Danny Stutzman from Oklahoma in the 4th round, Quincy Riley, the cornerback from Louisville in the 4th round, and then close things out by getting a running back, Devin Neal from Kansas in the 6th round, and then going tight end edge to close things out in the 7th round, Tyson. Man, our guy Kellen Moore, what'd you make of his first draft here?
Well, we talked about Banks, and so I don't need to go too deep into that. I think Stutzman, like right now, if you can see a path that he takes over for Demario Davis after Davis is a free agent next season, I think that is a really good pick. But, dude, I think Tyler Shuck's going to suck. And so I don't like it.
Yeah, man, because everybody's talking about, what's kind of the deal here with Tyler Shuck. The ceiling's high, right? Like we know the arm strength's there. He's a good athlete, borderline super athlete. Maybe that's a little great athlete, let's say. Yeah. Not super athlete. But I guess for his position, potentially. I mean, it's not Lamar Jackson, but, he's got a little athleticism to him. We'll see. I don't know. Is this guy Kellen Moore is going to put all his eggs in his basket? I don't know, Tyson. I mean, it seems to me like this is someone they saw a fault in him, and it's like, okay, we don't really know the Derek Carr thing. Can he compete with Spencer Rattler? That's how I'm seeing this thing. But I don't think that they're throwing like, okay, yeah, Tyler Shuck is our Super Bowl winning guy. Do you?
No, I don't think so either. It's just there's been a lot of like we called it a couple, like during the college football season. It was like Tyler Shuck's going to be the guy that rises up the board because he's going to show up to the combine and his pro day and it's going to be like, wow. And then his lowlights are as low as anybody I've ever seen. But at 40, you're not super, invested. It just feels like this is the team that needs so much that to take a guy at 40 that could turn into a plus NFL starter someday. But how many times have we seen, well, he does everything really well except for the throw the ball to the guy on his team part. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, God, man, I'm curious to see how, like, I want to see how it works here. Like, this might be a storyline I'm following in camp, and I'm just thinking, like, can Tyler Shuck, can he play? Like, a lot of people in the NFL apparently think so. I don't think this was just the New Orleans Saints.
Mel Kiper told us the NFL has no idea what they're doing when it comes to. So, what do we care what the NFL thinks, dude? Mel Kiper told us.
That's a good point. Okay, we got to get out of here on this one. Like, subscribe, and share the show on the way out. That's our NFC South episode. We're going to be closing that with AFC South, or that's the order. I don't even know. We've been doing a ton of these things, so go check out what we did in the past. And if you're like, what, you guys did more of this? We love it. Or if you hate it and you're like, I got to go watch. That's why you got to say subscribe so you don't miss a single thing we do. Smash that like button on the way out. We'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.